Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Zebra Report. Today I want to talk about niche marketing and what you've got to do in order to be prepared to do it. So let me first define it. Niche marketing is when you decide on a particular target that you want to go after, and then what you do is you go about finding and doing all the research you need to do to become the very best expert in that. So a couple of ideas that we see non-real estate might be where maybe a doctor has decided to have a niche market where he is specifically a brain surgeon, or maybe he is a foot doctor, or maybe he only specializes in one particular type of surgery, but he's very much niched into that area of specialty and expertise. And the reason why niche marketing usually ends up doing very, very well in the real estate industry, in the real estate realm, is because very, very few agents actually decide to be niche marketing experts. And the reason for that is that they're worried about limiting themselves and being too specific and being too micro-marketed, and that concerns them. So instead what they do is they're generalists. But agents that actually spend the time to really learn how to be an expert in something, and then they go about getting that information and getting that expertise, you can have such great success. So I'll give you a couple of great examples. Imagine if, for example, you love horses and you ride horses and you know lots about what it takes to take care of horses, which means you know what kind of land is needed, you know what kind of barns are needed, you know what kind of arenas are needed, you know what kind of footing is needed for the horse to get around on well. All of those areas of specialty have really been brought on because, and why you know about them is because they've been brought on by maybe a hobby that you have. It's the same with someone who decides that they want to be a waterfront expert. Perhaps they live on water. Maybe they have a boat. Maybe they live on a lake. Maybe they know that area of specialty. So the key is, in order to do that, you can't just decide I want to be a specialist, but I'm not willing to do the work to become the specialist. So you have to know what you're talking about. You need to do your research. If you're going to become someone who decides, I'm going to specialize in lakes, owning real estate on a lake, you better know every lake around you. You better know what every sale has been for the last 10 years. You need to know what the challenges are when you own lake property. You need to know all about docks and whether you can permit a dock, whether maybe there's a moratorium on docks. Maybe they haven't been allowed for the last 15 years. You need to know all of that. Anyone who chooses to be a niche marketing expert has to first get the expert part on their belt, right? You first have to master that. So I will tell you that my agents that are niche marketing experts, they love it. Once they have mastered the art of being an expert, and then they've mastered the art of presenting that expertise, and you present that expertise with mailings, with reports, with annual reviews. And that's why it's so important to make sure that if you're going to choose a market to be an expert in, that you also become a reporter in that area. So if you're an equestrian expert, make sure that you're talking about things in the equestrian world that might be of interest to them. If you're a lakefront person, if there's any changes to the laws around owning lakefront property or on conditions, or maybe there's some water contamination that has just recently happened on one of the lakes, make sure that or some noxious weeds, make sure that you're the person to report on that. So become a reporter of that information. I can tell you that when I was actively selling, my niche marketing was my geographical farms. And I started in a real entry-level townhouse community, but nobody knew more about that community than I did. I knew every sale. I knew every event that happened in that development. I knew if there was a police report filed in that development. I knew everything. And that's what becoming a niche marketing expert is all about. So please, guys, get out there, do your research, and you can absolutely do well being a niche marketing expert. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.